Huge loss, technological regressions, public complaints. Guess what? Does the US regret sanctioning Huawei now? Endless losses seem to prove how absurd that the banning Huawei decision is. The USA, can you really keep your cool right now? Hi. Welcome to Tech Teller. Before we start today's video, please subscribe to our channel, which is the encouragement that we can create more videos. Okay, let's move on to today's topic. In recent years, the rapid development of China's high-tech is obvious to all. Whether it is aerospace, artificial intelligence, cloud computing and other key fields, China has all reached the level of parity or even surpassing the West. This is inseparable from the efforts of countless Chinese scientists. Besides, the rapid rise of China's telecommunications technology also contributed to this. In the Internet era, the construction of communication networks is the hub connecting various industries and the cornerstone of scientific and technological progress, especially in 5G communication. It has become a focus of competition in various regions of the world not long after its emergence. As the world's most advanced 5G company, Huawei has more than 3,000 5G patents, which should have become a business card for China's network communications to the world. In order to consolidate its position in the communication market, the United States not only framed the security problems of Huawei equipment, incited its allies to reject and dismantle Huawei communication equipment, but also contributed to the so-called 5G Open RAN alliance in an attempt to isolate Huawei's 5G from the global giants. Unexpectedly, half a year after the 5G Open RAN technology was promoted, news suddenly came out in the United States that the local communication operator Cellcom officially announced that it would shut down the Open RAN network built in Wisconsin. In this regard, the US company Cellcom stated helplessly, "The equipment provided by the upstream supplier Parallel Wireless is too expensive and the cost exceeds our budget, but the technical effect has not met our expectations. The costs to pay for this lesson is too huge. It seems that the West's dependence on Huawei has much more exceeded our imagination." Why does the United States fail repeatedly in 5G construction? With endless loss right now, do US and its allies want to re-cooperate with Huawei? Okay, let's get more details about that in today's video. For the 5G Open RAN Alliance, which aims to establish a new system standard, it has lost its mainstay in only half a year, which will inevitably have a very negative impact on the future development of a 5G Open RAN technology. What's worse, it may become the fuse for the breaking down of the 5G Open RAN Alliance. In fact, in addition to the US company Cellcom, the core member of the alliance, Nokia, has already begun to withdraw, and even the British communications giant Vodafone has made a clear statement not long ago: Open RAN technology is hyped by the telecom industry. So far, we haven't seen the slight of cost-effectiveness that Open RAN brings. From this, it is not difficult to see that the 5G Open RAN alliance at the moment seems to be completely disunited. The United States' vain attempt to counter Huawei's 5G plan is expected to fail, and they have to pay a heavy price for it. Why is that? Okay, first of all, in order to explore Open RAN technology, many alliance members including Cellcom and other US companies have invested a lot of money, manpower, material resources and time, but the sudden shutdown means that the previous efforts will be completely in vain. More importantly, they have already fallen behind in traditional 5G communication construction. The United States and its allies have lost billions of dollars just to dismantle Huawei equipment. If these companies want to make up for this blank period and narrow the gap with 5G construction in other regions, they must pay a higher price, and they have to take the initiative to find Huawei and seek corresponding patent technology authorization. Secondly, the promotion of 5G Open RAN technology has been hindered, which is enough to prove that it cannot shoulder the heavy responsibility of the development of the 5G, and this also reflects the irreplaceability of Huawei's 5G from the side. In fact, this move by the United States is tantamount to providing free publicity for Huawei. In the early stage of 5G construction, due to the intervention of the United States, although Huawei encountered major setbacks in the European market, which has been deeply cultivated for many years. However, with the continuous deepening of 5G construction, more and more wait-and-see regions have taken the initiative to throw olive branches to Huawei, such as Brazil, Turkey, etc. Moreover, the decision of the US company Cellcom to shut down the Open RAN network will allow those regions that have been hesitated to reject Huawei to see the truth and make the right choice. It can be expected that the United States can no longer stop the pace of Huawei's 5G globalization. In this regard, some international media said, this is the price of refusing Huawei's 5G and Chinese technology. Well, since the bad results of rejecting Huawei's 5G have appeared, is there any possibility for the United States to re-cooperate with Huawei in the future? Well, as far as I am concerned, the US should be unlikely to accept Huawei. And I think there are 3 reasons. Firstly, if the United States accepts Huawei, it will give Huawei a big stage to show its talent in the US. In the future, Huawei's strength in 5G is likely to become stronger and stronger. How can the United States just wait and see Huawei become stronger in the United States? Secondly, the current epidemic situation in the United States is severe. In the case of such a great economic pressure in the United States may not have much financial confidence to support Huawei's 5G relaunch in the United States. After all, there is a recent chip expenditure of $52 billion from the US. Last but not least, Huawei is not the only choice for the United States. If the United States wants to develop 5G, it can also choose Ericsson and Nokia. In short, at present, and even for a long time in the future, despite such bad consequences, it is unlikely that the United States will accept Huawei. However, judging from the current situation in the United States, Huawei's 5G is the best choice for the United States. Although the United States has the ambition to redominate the global 5G market, it does not have the strength. As Eric Schmidt, the former CEO of Google, said, all US telecommunications companies combined can't compare to one Huawei. If we continue to decouple from Huawei's technology, we will be completely backward. In today's economic globalization, many regions have maintained a close cooperation and win-win model, but in order to curb China's high-tech development, the United States has been using its basic technological advantages to constantly revise the rules, suppress Huawei and other Chinese companies, and undermine the market balance system. I hope that the United States will recognize in time how important Huawei's 5G is to the development of the United States in the future, and achieve an international cooperation that is the best for both countries and the world. Okay, that's all for today. Please put your comments below, and share your insightful ideas. Please keep following our channel and like our videos. I am Tech Teller, the person to tell you the opinions that worth spreading every day. Thank you so much for your continuous support. Your precious time with us is highly appreciated. See you.